can catch me later in the morning. Out with my whole team, we drank our ass off. I'ma be the one that's chillin', sitting cozy with the OG vintage Snapback on. You can catch me later in the morning. Out with my whole team, we drank our ass off. I'ma be the one that's chillin', sitting cozy with the OG vintage Snapback on. Feel good, yeah, look good, yeah, feel good, look good. Pour the diamond, mix the orange.
All right, welcome to the second episode of Snapbacks and Mimosas. I'm your host, Edenos Erigi, aka Biggie Smiles. And I want to take this time out and pay my respects to the people we've lost over this quarantine, and give my respects to George Floyd and his family, and Breonna Taylor and her family, as well as Ahmaud Arbery and his family. I know everyone is using their voice at this time, and I want to say we see you, we hear you, and you should continue to use your voice, because it's the only way we're going to make change is doing it together. So continue to use your platform. That being said, I just want to hop right into it. And I have one of my good friends, and my best friends from high school, Cy Springs Panther, alumni, University of Houston Cougar alum,
Yes, sir.
And, go Cougs. And actually, he helped me with another piece before. He helped me out with Snapbacks and Mimosas, which is behind me. Half Kanye, half Kobe. And I got that for my brother for Christmas, and it turned out dope. And like I said, he helped me out with this logo that you see. I want to introduce Jason Yang. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just working day to day. That's really about it. The grind never stops. So nothing's really changed, since the last time we've really seen each other.
True,
which is a little while ago.
That was a while. Yeah, It's crazy because, back then, that was 2 years ago when you made this? The Kobe pain?
It was like it. It feels like it. A long time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, man. And I know you was already doing your shit around the city. Yeah. So, and I saw it was dope. So I had to get my own piece for the crib, and my brother loves it. So I appreciate that.
I almost wanted to keep that piece, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, bro. Look how dope that is, though. Like you can see it just in the eyes of both, bro. Like the eyes just speak to you. It's ferocious. Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, that was dope. And so like when I knew I wanted to start this podcast, like I only had like one person in mind. Like in my mind was like, he's gonna do my logo, and I had to hit you up, and it turned out dope too. So like, gotta give you your props, man. Give you your roses while you can still smell them.
Yes, sir. Hey, thank you for choosing me too. You know what I mean? Like, you're literally my first client for a digital logo. So, I just decided to take your project on because I knew you, and I found that I actually like doing it. So, I might just continue doing it,
It's fucking exclusive, dude. That's what's up.
Where's your mimosa at, bro?
Hey, bro, we stay ready.
Cheers.
My bad.
And there you go.
Yeah, dude. So I wanted to start off how we first, we met in high school. I don't know. Did we go to middle school together? Did we go to Thornton?
Yeah.
Did you go to Thornton? Okay, yeah, that's okay. But only spent 1 year in Thornton in 8th grade. So
where did you go after that?
No, because I moved from Carolina to Houston in 8th grade, and then I went to Thornton.
Okay.
And then that's when we really linked up in high school, though.
Yeah, high school was where we kind of became friends. Thornton, I just, we see each other probably.
Yeah.
In high school, that's like, all right, this guy's pretty cool, man.
Appreciate that. You heard it here, guys. You tuned in. Cool guy. But I know I was talking. We were talking before we started, and we were talking about how I got you to make that poster for my band presidency. I had you know, some propaganda in the band hall. Yeah. Was that your first piece, or like were you already like leaning towards doing art?
Yeah, I mean, at that time, I think I've always taken art classes, like in middle school and high school. I've always had like 1 or 2 art classes throughout all those years, and so everybody just kind of knew me as the kid that that draws, you know?
Yeah.
It's cool artwork, you know? So I was just kind of known for that. So I'd have like, you know, a few girls here and there just ask me to do, you know, hey, can you draw something for my, you know, history class or something like that? I was just always that kid, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, when you asked me, I was like, you know, it was a no-brainer, you know, I was going to help you out. I was gonna give you that A, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro, I appreciate that, because I got band class president because of that.
Yeah.
You know what?
Exactly.
Out here running the streets.
He's gonna be the president, you know?
Right.
I was gonna make y'all appreciate art, you know what I mean? That's always been my mindset.
Art in different forms, man, from music to, you know, to painting. Yeah. It all matters. So, and then it led to our senior. Well, that was senior year as well, but our senior year when we went to prom.
Yeah.
Well, that was a whole nother story, because I know I was late to the game asking like a date to prom, because I was a little scared. Gonna be honest.
Yeah.
So I didn't. By the time the pickets were slim, it was real slim. And so I think we decided just like, hey, we're just gonna roll up together, man. And I know we went to your parents' restaurant before we dipped out.
Yeah.
I remember all that. The food was good.
Mm-hmm.
Get into prom. I know. I don't know. I decided I wanted to look classy with a bow tie. And like,
I mean, wasn't Ross there too?
Ross was. See, that's the thing. I'm trying to figure out. I'm pretty sure like a whole gang of us rolled up deep to it. I'm not sure if we rolled up with them or if we just like met up. But I know it was like Ross and Jesus. Jesus was there too.
Man, it's sad that we can't really remember.
Bro, it's 10 years ago, man. Like 10 years ago. I just remember that like we rolled up deep to that.
Yeah. It's like all the dudes with no prom dates.
Yeah.
Like, all right, Eddie, come on, let's go together, bro.
Yeah, fuck it, we gonna show out anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a good time.
It's not that we didn't have prom dates. We just chose not to have prom dates.
Exactly.
Right? There's a difference.
We was ahead of it. It was ahead of it.
Yeah.
We not gonna fall into that stigma, bro, that you need dates for prom.
Yeah.
Plus, we saved hella money.
Hell yeah, man. Saved a lot of
responsible.
Money. Yeah. That's carried on with my adult life too, you know. Like, save some money.
Yeah, man. So that was crazy. And then we talked about us linking back up in college, and we run into. I know. Did you got your degree in architecture, right?
Industrial design.
Design.
Bachelor in science in industrial design.
Okay.
But I mean, you know, we're in the same building, so everybody kind of classified.
As soon as you see that big ass building, just like, okay, architecture. Yeah, man.
It's just like one little section within that building.
Yeah, man. I know you said that, you know, I invited you to one of the fraternity parties, and you know, we hit it up on the beer pong table.
Yeah.
Man,
it was a good time, man.
It was. I mean, one thing for me, like, I wanted, if I knew you, like, I was gonna invite you to the house regardless. That's just That's just how it is. So I don't know, man. It was. I mean, we've had some great memories, man, and you know, just to wrap that up, like, I definitely wanted to make sure that you was a part of this with me, and I mean, everyone knows that logo is dope. So we're gonna figure out where we're gonna put that logo. I'm thinking like a T-shirt, some fitteds, you know, man. Some snaps or something.
I think it should definitely go on a T-shirt, man. That's for sure. Yeah. In the future, you know, for your next couple, you know, podcasts, definitely make some T-shirts.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. So I mean, we already touched on it a little bit, like how you guys started, but like, when did you really know that you wanted to begin on like your artistic journey?
When I really took it serious, I would say it's right after I graduated from U of H, man, in 2016. You know, just graduated. I hadn't applied for any jobs yet. Mm-hmm. So I kind of had like a choice to make, you know, after spending so much time in school, you know, the first year after, I just wanted a break, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I wanted to take a few vacations, travel a little bit before I jumped right into a job. So that's exactly what I did. And my time off away from school and whatnot, when I was traveling, you know, that's when I decided like, hey, you know, I've always been creative as far as artwork goes, drawing, painting, and whatnot. Why not take it serious, see what I could do with it? You know, I learned a couple things with my degree. My mindset has matured a little bit. Maybe I can actually do something with my artwork. So I literally just went for it, man, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I just made business cards. You know, that's the first thing I did.
Yeah.
I did my logo. And then, because you just need to start off with the logo. So I made my logo first. And then I made my business card. And I learned how to do all that in my degree, my program, you know, marketing yourself and whatnot. So that's exactly what I did. I made that business card first, passed out my first business card to a stranger. At the time I was working at a restaurant, and it was kind of like just testing it out, you know?
Yeah.
You never know till you test it out. So I made that business card, just gave it to a stranger, and they ended up hitting me up for a painting, man. That's how I sold my first painting. And ever since then, painting, like, man. Yeah.
Well, what was that first painting?
Man, it was sea turtles, man.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny, man, because I don't know if I should tell the story, but I mean, it's funny though, because I thought the two girls were cute. It was two girls. I thought they were cute. And so I was like, I was their waiter. You know, I was making small talk with them and whatnot. But since I had just made that business card as well, I figured I might as well give it to them, you know, let them check out my art and whatnot.
Yeah,
do something slick, you know?
That was slick though, yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to be slick. And so I gave one of the chicks my business card, and she actually ended up hitting me up, wanting to gift her friend that was with her that day the painting. And so, yeah, it turns out they were actually in a relationship together.
Dang, that's how it go, huh?
Yeah, man. So it was pretty funny. Yeah, it was pretty funny, but you know, everything went smooth, man. You know, I ended up meeting up the chick, giving her painting, did some photography, you know, as I do with every person that I sell a painting to. Just didn't get one with you in that piece in the back. Yeah.
And hey, now it's going on YouTube, so we good. It'd be good, man. That's crazy. Like, okay, so you started. I should have asked this before, but was there someone in like your life that, you know, that showed you your creative side, like of art?
Yeah, my dad, man. But more so my cousin John. When I was just a little kid, he actually wanted to study to be an architect, and he lived with us at the moment. I was probably like around 5 or 6, and he would always be in his room, lights on in the middle of the night, just drawing floor plans and stuff like that. And so as a little kid, you know, you're just always curious about what older people are doing, people that you look 100%. Up to.
Yeah.
And so I would always just go in the room, see what he was doing, and that's kind of how I picked up drawing, because he was my form of inspiration as a child to start drawing. So, yeah, definitely.
I respect that.
My cousin John.
That.
Yeah.
it's always something like that. Cause I remember before I wanted to, join the band, like there was always like at my church, there was this guy that was in the band in the church who just played the trumpet. And like you get, obviously the trumpet's just like an annoying instrument. Like you can hear that instrument over anything. But like I was always like drawn to that. And it was when I was younger, like I don't know what it was, like praise and worship. Like I didn't care about whatever was happening, like in terms of the singers or the drums. It's just like my attention was just like there. And like as soon as I got that chance to pick an instrument or to join band, I knew exactly what instrument I wanted to play.
Yeah. It's always been the trumpet with you.
It's always been the trumpet. Like that was it. And the funny thing is, that was in North Carolina. When I came to Texas, 8th grade, the band director, she wanted me to switch to like a trombone or a euphonium, which is like bigger because like my lips are fat, so like it helps you play the instrument better. And I was like, fuck no. Like, what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to switch like what I want to do because you think I'll have an easier time playing the instrument. So we fought over that. She was a little hoe for that because she kept me in like she didn't move me to like to the best band. She kept me in like the second to best band. But she knew it was killing them niggas like on the chair test. But we're not gonna speak on it. I'm over it. That was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But
But you were just always musically inclined.
Yeah, I mean that's just, I don't know. Music has always been like something that just pushed me or something, and like I aspired to be a musician or have some type of relationship with music. Mm-hmm. So just I know you talked about how you first start off and you got your first piece from the restaurant and that lady with a friend. I wanted to see like once you first started and you made your mind up like this is what I wanted to do, like what was that like in terms of like obstacles and like your parents, like you making them understand like, hey, this is what I want to do in my life, and then overcome those obstacles to like get you actually moving, like getting the momentum to start.
I would say like, yeah, my parents were definitely, they had some influence on me right after I graduated. They were like, why didn't you go get a job, go apply for a job, go look for a job? And they didn't really grasp what I was trying to do with my paintings. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I didn't really explain that to them. I just kind of did it.
Yeah.
Because you spend too much energy explaining something to somebody when you have nothing to show for. It's kind of hard to do, you know what I mean?
You just got to do it, yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, if you try to explain it and you have nothing to show for it, they'll just doubt you. Mm-hmm. And if that happens, then you just doubt yourself, especially if, your parents have a big influence on your life, which all of our parents should, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So definitely mentally, man, they would always just question me, just ask me why I haven't went out to go look for a job. So I would say that's definitely been the biggest hurdle. Mm-hmm. And it still is, because, I mean, if I had a child and he told me he wanted to be an artist, be like, yo, you gotta put in some work, man.
Yeah.
Nobody, it's not what you normally hear, like, so I definitely say my parents, they kind of shackled me down at times with, their words and their thoughts and what I should do in life and what I should pursue in life. But at this point, I'm so deep into it, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even bother me.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's like a story for like a lot of immigrant parents, because I had to do the same thing. Like I think graduated from college, like it's always hard to get like that first job right out of college. Like I don't care who you are, unless you like have connections that comes in like that. It never comes in like that. So I remember like that first 6 months, like my mom at the time was in Colorado and I was in Houston, and I didn't have a job at the time, and she was always like on me, like, I need you to just move up to Colorado. You could like work here and then move back. And I was like, if I move to Colorado, I'm never coming back to Texas. Like that was like in my mindset. Like I can't. Like I gotta make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta go, and I know I'm gonna find a job. Like if that means I gotta like move locations or like figure something out, I'm gonna figure something out. But there's no way I'm gonna move right back in with my mom. Like I love her to death.
Yeah.
Of course, like you said, you always love your parents. They got a big influence. But like there's a point in your life where you're just like, nah. like
yeah, like no is
it's
no.
me now. Yeah. So no, I definitely get that. Like, is there any other obstacles that you face coming up and as an early artist?
Let's see. I think time management is not really a problem that I had, but I know it's a problem that a lot of people have, you know. So I can't really think of too much more other than, you know, my parents being kind of like a mental barrier. But I know time management is important. That's like advice that I would give to people, you know, as far as how, if you want to pursue something, your time management has to be on point. That's basically what college taught me, you know. So
is there a time
Is
there a time that, you know, people are coming to you with like ideas for work and you have to take a step back and like reevaluate? Like you could say yes because like that's money in your pocket, but there's also your like integrity as an artist might be like hindered because of like the time that you put into each piece, you know. Or like is that like a internal like conflict?
Like basically a client asking me for something and it doesn't match.
You're booked already. Like you're booked. You have things scheduled.
I would say no, it hasn't really happened to me because per project, I always give myself enough time to take on multiple projects at one time. So when people request a piece, I always give them, you know, a time limit, just like I did you. I said it would take approximately 3 weeks for me to finish. Now, I'm not going to spend those 3 weeks just working on your logo.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Not every hour. Not every hour of those 3 weeks is going to be spent on your logo. So me giving myself those 3 weeks or telling my clients, hey, the project is going to take 3 weeks, it allows me to take on multiple projects. So, you know, to answer your question, nah, it doesn't have an effect on me and how many projects I take at one time. But I mean, you just kind of made me think about something else. There are people out there that ask for free work, you know, and people that ask for a discount on art. And so I would say that's kind of an obstacle in a way because you don't want to hear that, you know?
Yeah, no, that's your work.
Yeah, this is basically my bread and butter. This is something I'm trying to build. I treat this like a business, and for somebody to say something like that, that can be annoying, you know. Of course, I don't let it get to me, but I mean, early on when you're first starting, that can definitely be an obstacle. I've had it happen to me like maybe once or twice, but not too much because I always, you know, I keep everything written down on what I provide to my customer. Like it's all in paper. I send them paperwork. Like, hey, this is how much this is. This is how much time it's gonna take. I let them know up front. So
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I can see that being an issue, especially if it's like people that you know, like you have a good relationship with, and you know they won't see it as like a slight to you because like they have this relationship with you, you know. So they just think, you know what I'm saying, like I'm just asking with boys and stuff like that, and that could be tough on you, like or tough on anyone that's already starting a business, you know. Like I can't give you a discount because like you said, I'm building this. Like this is something I want to do. And like the
Yeah,
real ones will
exactly.
understand that. They want to like they want to pay it forward. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
be part of that journey. So I can see that. No.
Yeah, it's just like people who don't, I guess, start up their own business or try to pursue something where they have to invest their time and money into, they kind of will never understand, you know, what it's like to be in that position,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So it happens though.
Yeah. Well, when I know you said that you knew when you wanted to like pursue this creative side, like what do you think stops other people from actually pursuing that side, even though they have the
Doubt,
desire to?
definitely
Doubt.
doubt, procrastination, that kind of falls under doubt. But the main one I would say is doubt, and then also outside influence, you know, and your lifestyle, the type of lifestyle you live. That's a big one too. Like especially if you go out and drink and party all the
Mm-hmm.
time after work, you can't set aside time after work to, you know, pursue the things you want to pursue. Like me, personally, my lifestyle, like I don't really drink anymore. I don't smoke weed, you know, occasionally, you
Yeah.
know, weed, a little bit of alcohol.
Yeah.
Like that's occasional, you know, like if I have some good friends and they want, it has to be occasion, like birthday or something, or get
Yeah.
together. All right, you know, I could do that for like a night or two,
Yeah.
but consistently every weekend, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
So,
No.
you know, that's definitely something that's allowed me to put in more time to my own craft, you know. But doubt is definitely one of the biggest, you know.
Has there been a time that doubt actually crept into your mind? Like, did I make the right decision as an artist?
In the beginning, it did a lot, and it still does to
Mm-hmm.
this day. I was actually thinking about it the other night, you know, with everything that's going on, the corona and all this other shit that's going on in the world that everyone is dealing with. You know, it's kind of depressing in a sense, you know. It takes a lot of energy to be creative, and at times like this, it's hard to be creative. I talked to you about this other night too. You know, it's hard to be creative, and you understand as well.
Yeah.
It's hard to be creative when there's so much shit that's going on in the world. You know, it has an effect on all of us. So,
Yeah. That's understandable.
What was the question again? I kind of just like, I'm thinking about all that, and then it's like shit.
No, it was the question. It was has doubt ever crept into your mind, and like how do you handle?
Yeah. So all right, back on track. So with everything that's going on right now, it kind of throws us off track for a little bit. It threw me off track for like basically this whole past month. I've been a little off track with my paintings. Haven't felt much energy to get stuff done. But at the end of the day, you still push forward with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and I feel like it's kind of difficult too, because I feel like there has to be a separate space for that creative side to come through. Like I know I've been in the house since March, and you don't really leave the house, so there's no like break from at least my relaxing time to me coming in and doing my work to me like prepping for this. Like there's no break into it. It's like one continuous like long ass day.
Yeah.
And I think finding some time where you can like separate like your mind to like, okay, I can push this like work that is I gotta send it to my boss like to the back, but I need to like focus on like this next episode or just me relaxing in general. Like I feel like that's the struggle that at least I'm finding myself have at just like in this moment, because there's no break between, okay, I'm at home, I'm relaxing. Okay, I'm at work, I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's during this time is the biggest thing that I see myself struggling with. So, okay, I see you do like a lot of like murals and like commissioned work. Like when was the first time like you got that big call, like I need you to do this? Like this painting, and it's gonna be a public painting. Like, when was that first time, and like, how did that feel?
Man, it felt really good, man. It's almost like the validation you need for everything you work so hard for. You know what I mean? So the first mural I ever did, how I actually got that job though, was by doing free work previous to that job. You know, I did a mural for free at a kolache shop here in Cyprus.
What's the name? What's the name of the kolache shop?
It's called Koala Kolache.
Okay, yeah.
Koala Kolache. It's actually a pretty famous kolache shop. I saw something on Facebook that made me go there. I'm not a breakfast person, but I saw their kolaches on Facebook. It was on Insider. Yeah. That kolache shop blew up on Insider. So it was a really popular shop. It still is. And I saw that on Facebook. And so I was like, man, that looks really good. I need to go get me some breakfast. So I walked in there and I saw the lady that was on Insider. They interviewed her. And part of me going in there was to meet her because, like, I was like, man, you know, how'd she get on Insider? That's pretty cool. That's not your normal lady that serves kolaches for breakfast. You know, there's something different about her. And so I went in there and then we just got to talking. Come to find out, man, she used to be an art director in California. And yeah. And so, yeah, it's a really interesting story, man. And so after she told me that, she basically asked me what I did. And so this was the very beginning where I only had canvas paintings. I had no murals or anything. It was just paintings, you know, on my Instagram. And so I showed her my Instagram. She's like, oh, that's cool. Like, you got some skills. You got some talent. How about you do a mural for me? How much are you going to charge me? And I was like, what? Like, you want me to paint on your business? I've never done this before. Of course, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking to myself, like, I just started doing all of this. Like, this is too good to be true for somebody to ask me to paint on their business. Because number one, I knew that it'd give me exposure. And then number two, I knew I'd learn something from this. You know, this is the exact direction I wanted to go in. And so when she asked me that, I kind of just paused. I was like, hold on, let me think about the price, you know. And she just kind of looked at me weird. She was like, I'm giving you a free opportunity to paint on my wall. So just go ahead and just paint on my wall. And yeah, ever since that day, you know, I was in that kolache shop eating kolaches and painting, you know, I was just doing it for free. I was like, man, she's right. She knows what she's talking about. You know?
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, it goes deeper than that. You know, I've had a lot of conversations with her. Like, she's a cool ass person and she knows what she's doing, you know, multiple businesses. There's a whole bunch of experience that I needed, you know, and it just happened to align with what I was doing that day when I walked into that kolache shop. So, you know, I give a lot of credit to her because that's how I found my next mural job, which I actually got paid for through her. You know, one of her friends walked into the kolache shop and then she was like, they were like, who painted that? And then she was like, oh, the name's right there. You know, and they ended up emailing me and yeah, got in touch with me.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy because all it takes is like a push for you just to go in and check out what you saw on Facebook. Like, I'm gonna go check out that kolache factory. Like, in that video, did she say she was an art director at all? Like, it had nothing to do with art. It was just like
I mean, definitely it was just kind of a video about her kolaches, you know, for her business. But I mean, you just have to watch me. I can't really remember.
Yeah.
But you can tell she's like a businesswoman. Like, she's a good marketer. So, you know, that's what it was. But yeah, that day it just happened to, you know, I think everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Like, especially when you're on top of your shit and you're grinding day in and day out towards something, it's always on your mind. Like, it's one of those things that it just happens for you if you work towards it. It's like a universal type thing. You know what I mean?
I feel that. It's positive energy. You put that in there, you're going to get that back out.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So,
dang.
yeah.
And that led to which mural did I lead to?
To the mural at Bubble Egg. So it's an ice cream shop in Houston, Texas, Bel Air. Yeah, so the owner, Jimmy, of that ice cream shop actually knows the lady Vatsana from Koala Kalachi. And so that's how I got my first job with Jimmy at that ice cream shop. It was dope as hell, man. You know, I got paid for that job too. So, like, it was exciting, man. It wasn't like any chump change either, you know?
Yeah.
I asked for, you know, what I thought I deserved. And that's exactly what I got.
That's what you got?
So so there's a whole, like, business side to it of where, you know, like, it's just different from painting in your room on a canvas to working with actual business people. Like, it teaches you so much more, you know what I mean? Like, writing invoices for them, thinking about doing your taxes for this, all that kind of stuff. Like, you don't learn that from canvases in your room. Like, if you actually work with business people, you actually learn some things, how to communicate with them, how to be more serious, you know, because this is a business. They're paying you, so you have to take this serious. You have no choice at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, I mean, as cool as it was, you know, like, I was like, damn, like, this shit is actually serious, you know, like, it was kind of mind blowing, you know. I was like, damn, I'm getting paid for this.
Just to see that come like full circle though, like, and I mean, like, how did your parents feel? Like, I feel like that's some validation right there. It's like, you walk into the store, you see my painting every time you walk in, like, that's crazy. Like, as long as this building is here, I'm here.
I think when I say this, I speak for all minorities, man. Our parents don't give a shit, man. Hey, you got that degree, you go get a job, man. They don't care. I mean, they do care a little bit, but they're not gonna show you that they care. You know, it's like my dad was like, all right, that's cool, you know. Like, that's cool, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. You see this thing? Like no, I'm with you. I know exactly.
I was like, hold on, Dad. Have you ever drawn something and got paid this much? All right, that's cool.
All right.
Yeah,
I know exactly. I know that exactly, man. And then,
it's like when you have a skill and you can make money off of it, it's just different. You know what I mean? Like, it's different from a 9 to 5. Like, it's different. You know, you're literally making money from a skill, like no experience, no nothing.
It's your hands, man. You created all that.
Exactly, man.
You know, it's different. Like
that's how I see this. Like, while I was painting that first mural, man, the first paid one, not the free one. When I was painting that first paid one, while I was in there working, man, like, I couldn't help but to think about when I was a child and I used to draw on our walls with crayons. Like, that's basically what I'm doing now, except and it actually looks better, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't look
they actually want it on their walls. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you know? Yeah.
But it's kind of like, this is kind of stuff that I thought of when I was a child. It's just I didn't know how to put it together until I developed the whole business part of it, until I kind of sharpened that side of it up, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like it goes like that for a lot of people that first start their own business, you know, or have a creative side but don't know how to deal with the business side yet. It's a lot to learn. Little things here and there, how to talk to people, how to ask for a certain price, stuff like that. So it definitely taught me all of that with the first project.
That's crazy, because I know you just got done with another one. Was the astronaut with the Travis Scotts?
Yeah, and you know how I got that job, man? From them seeing the Bubble Egg mural.
So okay, so it's that's how the universe works, bro. Like, it's just like a chain reaction. Like,
so it's like, you know, they see that and then they contact me. So it's like a domino effect, basically. That's the cool thing about it. The more you put out there, you know, the more you get back, basically. The more work you put in, the more work that comes to you.
True.
It's kind of a good thing, but then it's kind of like, damn, I'm tired too.
Yeah, I feel. How long does it take you to, like, complete a mural? Like, depending on how big it is, but like on average.
Yeah. it depends how much time, what time I decide to wake up, really.
True.
'Cause I sleep late. So like, I'm not gonna even try to put a certain number of hours. It just depends how I'm feeling that day. You know, what days I'm off work, because painting is not the only thing I do. You know, I work with my parents. I mean, you know, we have a restaurant.
Yeah.
So not only do I spend a lot of time there helping my parents manage the place part-time, basically, but whatever time I have off is dedicated to painting. You know, if I had the choice to just go fully with painting, I'd do it right now in a heartbeat, you know. But since we have a family business, it's just different, you know.
Yeah.
I kind of divide my time. So it really depends how I'm feeling that day, what days I'm off, what time I wake up. If I have the right kind of food in my body, like some oatmeal, like some good oatmeal, some good carbs, like I'll just work for hours.
Go through it. Yeah.
But when I work on a mural, I try to get it as much done as I can in one setting. Like, that's my mindset. You know, I'm never lazy about it. When I go into work and I show up that day, I leave when I'm hungry. I leave when I have to. Like, when I need to go to a restaurant, that's my break. When I need to eat, that's my break. Sometimes I don't even eat.
Yeah.
I'm so
that's dedication, though. Yeah, exactly.
And then at the same time, it's like sometimes you'll go do work for somebody and the drive is almost an hour away. So you ask yourself, do you want to make this drive multiple times throughout the week? No. So that's why I try to get it done in one setting. You know? So
I feel.
But
how would you describe your art, like because every artist has like a signature, like the way that they paint and the way that they see things. Like, how would you describe that?
Minimal. It's minimal. There's a lot of things that I want to do with my logo. You said my logo, right?
Oh, no, just your art. Just like in general, just like, because I know you do a lot. Like, it's a lot of real art, because it's people like that you draw, and then people ask you to do like their pets and stuff. But like every piece is different in terms of like who you are. Like, it's a realistic art, how compared to like how people probably have like a cartoonish art, and how they express themselves. Like, how would you describe like that type of art that you decided, like, okay, this is my signature? Like, if you see this painting, you know it's me.
Man, I'm still trying to figure that out, honestly. I think that's a part of being an artist, like figuring out what works for you. That's why you see, you know, a lot of these people that have a lot more followers, that are kind of more well known. They have a specific style to where when you look at their art, you know it's them. Like, for me, I haven't exactly captured that yet. Like, it still feels like just the beginning for me. All I know is that I can make money off of it. And if I really push myself, I could probably live off of it, you know, not living an extravagant lifestyle, but, you know, at least I know I can make money off of it. So the other part to it all is just figuring out what works for you as an artist and identifying your style, which I'm still working on. Like, at the moment with commission pieces, it's hard to kind of define my style. Like, I mean, if you look at that Kobe Kanye piece behind you, it's a portrait, basically. I mean, of course, it's a little abstract, you know, but I'm literally painting celebrities, you know? And like, some people might say, oh, that's a cool style, but it doesn't, you get what I mean? It doesn't identify with me. Even though I created it, it's not a specific style to where you can look at that painting and look at all 30 of my other pieces of work and say that they look similar, you know? So until I stop doing commission pieces and I'm able to focus on my actual art, what I want to put out there, such as my love series, that's what that was all about. It was, you know, something that I was creating from my heart, you know what I mean? That's different. That's different than just painting celebrities.
Painting what people want you to paint. I got you.
Exactly. Got you. So that's a part of finding my style. Like, if you go to my Instagram and you see the love series, you know, and you look at those pieces of work, is different, you know. That's actually my actual creative side. That's what sets me apart from painting celebrities and dogs.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
I feel that, and it makes sense. And I know you just talked about your love series. Is that what you're currently working on, or you got some more things in the pipeline?
I got, as far as what I'm working on right now, I definitely want to get back to that, because it's an interesting topic that I chose, and I feel like everybody could relate to it. So I definitely want to get back to that. But the thing with that is that I'm not really getting paid to do that. It's more of an investment, I guess you could say. Like, let's just say that my whole love series does decide to sell. Somebody does decide to spend the money that I want to buy it. Well, then I'd probably make a good amount of money because those pieces are priced pretty high, because that's more custom work that actually represents my brand and where I see this to go. And so I'm like losing my train of thought, man. Thinking too deep into it, man.
You sure that's just orange juice?
Yeah, it's just orange juice, man. Told you, man, I can go off on a tangent sometimes, but yeah, remind the question again, man. Put me back on track.
Yeah, what you're currently working on. I know you brought up the love series. Can you actually explain what the love series is actually?
It's basically a concept that I came up with that represents me. Like, it shows a side of me as an artist, you know. Apart from painting what people want, it kind of opens a chapter into my life, you know what I mean? And so that's what the love series represents. You know, everybody's been through love, relationships. That's what we all go through in life. And so I wanted to bring something to the table as an artist where everybody can identify with it, because not everybody can identify with a Kobe Kanye painting, because not everybody likes Kobe and Kanye, but everybody can identify with love to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Whether it be love with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, you know, or your love with whatever it is that you love, you know, whatever you're passionate about, you know, everybody can relate to it in some way when they look at a piece of art. So when I created that, that's exactly what I wanted it to represent when people looked at, you know, every single piece of that art.
Okay. And I mean, I get that. I get that because, like, creating your own, like, this podcast is like my own, like, idea. You know, like, it's my baby. Like, that's how I look at it. And like, if someone told me that I had to do this podcast one certain way to get paid, and yeah, you'll do it. But like, once you put your soul into something, it's like it's treated like a lot differently. Like, you can't see it fail. You can't see it like not turn out how you envisioned it. Like, and I can see, like, as an artist, like, there's a dilemma because you have to get paid, but you also want to do what you love. But until you get to that point in your career where you're like, I don't need to get paid for this. Like, they're buying what I love.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different transition. So, and you said that before, like, you just feel like you're just getting started in this whole career. So eventually you'll get to that point where they're buying what you love and not what they want.
Exactly, man. Yeah, I mean, you just said exactly what I wanted to say, you know.
Yeah.
Right there. You explained it perfectly, you know. It's definitely a big risk to take when you're trying to identify your style, because it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of energy, and someone's not paying you up front for this work that you're putting in. It's like you're putting in this work up front to get paid in the future, if that even happens, you know. Yeah. So you're kind of basing it on, all right, I'm gonna just take this risk, do this original artwork by me, and hopefully the world will love it, you know.
Okay. And like, okay, so is there like I brought up, like, you growing? Is there like a place you see yourself in like the next, let's say 3 years, 5 years? Like, is there like a goal that you have in mind? Like, I need to be here at this point, or is it just a journey that you're just looking to like go on, and you'll eventually get there?
More so a journey that I'm just going on, and eventually I'll get there. I try not to stress about the future too much, you know, because everything that I've done to this point is kind of everything that I planned for in the beginning. And
Mm-hmm.
so having the mindset that I did in the beginning and the same mindset that I do have now, where I just work at it every day and set small goals, how the bigger picture will, you know, form itself basically. You know, because everything that I've done is basically everything that I've written. You know, like I have my sale log right here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like this, it's just little things like that. You know, like a sale log of all pieces that I've sold. You know, tracking how much money I've made so far. Like those are the goals that I try to hit in the beginning. Can I make even $1 off of a painting? You know, of course I'm being a little sarcastic, but you know, can I make 1,000?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So those are the type of goals that I wanted to accomplish in the beginning, and I have. And so I just take it day by day, you know. But as long as as long as I know that I'm putting out genuine work, quality work, and I'm not shorting myself of my own craft, then I have no problem with, you know, just working at it day by day and accomplishing small goals. You know, I try not to stress myself out about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel that.
It's a hard enough thing to do. You know, there's enough things to think about when you're starting something new and you've been doing it for a long time, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not exactly where you want it to be yet, but you've only seen glimpses of what it can be. So that's the reason why I try not to think about it too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's some great advice. But my next and final question to wrap this up is, what advice do you have for that person that wants to get started and needs that push to get started, to follow their dreams, or just a hobby that they want to take off with?
Man, I'll say just go for it, man. Just go for it.
Just go
Like,
for it.
yeah, if you have an idea and you want to do something, man, just go for it, man. Because, I mean, look at what happened to Kobe Bryant, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like stuff like that is a good reminder that if there's anything that you want to do in life, to not doubt yourself and just go for it. Because the first thing that is natural, the first thing that's going to creep into your mind as a human being is doubt. And what's the safe route, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just how we naturally think. We can't control that. And as soon as you realize that, that's the day you actually, you know, get up off the bed and do something, you know. So
Respect that.
as simple as it is, like that's the damn truth. You know, if you look in the mirror and you're not happy with where you're at in life, then just do something about it, you know. But of course, you know, do your research before you do it. You know, see if that's what you really want to get into. You know, because at this point, this is the life that I'm living. Like, you know, I'm not going backwards. You know? Like, this is it. I bought too many canvases. I have canvases just laying here. Like that's money that I worked hard for to spend on canvases. So these canvases are about to go in people's houses.
Something about to come on these canvases. Like I feel,
like
I feel that.
So,
yeah, man. I appreciate you, man, taking your time and you know, having this first interview with me. Before we end, I want to give you a chance to tell the people like where to follow you on IG, where to look for all your art if they want to check you out.
Yeah, so on Instagram it's Chefboyjason, like chef like an actual chef, Chefboyjason1, and then you can find me on Facebook as well under artist CBJ. CBJ stands for Chefboyjason. And those are the two platforms that I'm active on as far as my artwork goes.
Cool. Yeah, man. Chefboyjason into his house.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and if you made it this far on the podcast, I appreciate y'all because it's just me talking with my boy. And you didn't have to stay the whole time, but if you did, respect to you.
I appreciate it too. You know what
I'm saying? Respect.
If you made it this far, check out my Instagram.
Yeah. We're going to get you some followers. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Give me some clout.
Some clout, bro. So go ahead and follow me on IG at Snapbacks and Mimosas. And like and subscribe on my YouTube page. We're gonna put an image right here for you to do all that. When they do that in videos, I was like,
hey, don't forget to like, comment,
subscribe. So yes,
that little ding.
And this is my first interview, second episode, and I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man, it's good talking to you as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this was also kind of like catch up time too. So it's cool.
I feel that, man. And thanks again. And hey, I'll catch you in 2 weeks with a new episode of Snapbacks and Mimosas. Peace.
All right, peace out, man. I'll see you later.